Welcome back to Tumble Upward. Today I'm sitting down with John, whose life took a dramatic turn after a rock climbing tumble left him with a broken hip. What started as just another day climbing became a fight to walk again, from the wheelchair to surgery to months of rehab. Alright, let's get into the chat. John, thank you so much for joining me and being open about sharing your journey.
No worries.
I just want to say your story fits the brief of this title so well because you literally tumbled from the rock climbing wall.
I did.
So, thanks for that.
No worries.
If you just want to start your journey before the incident happened and what got you into rock climbing.
Yeah, sure. Look, it's not a huge story from that perspective. It was my second ever time doing, I guess, belaying and with ropes and everything. I did a little bit of bouldering in the climbing gym when I was at university, but hadn't been doing it for very long. My partner had more of an extensive history with rock climbing, and she would belay and climb with ropes quite consistently. She's from Germany, back in Germany.
Yeah.
So this was her kind of trying to get me into it, I guess. And she, so had introduced me on one previous occasion, and we had a really good time. I enjoyed it. Felt somewhat familiar because it's in the same area as the bouldering section. So, I'd enjoyed that. And
did
this was the second
straight
time.
to the rock climbing wall when you started again, or did you do a bit of bouldering first and then get into rock climbing?
Oh no, we went straight to the rope section.
Yeah.
Where we got a training session the first time we went, and then the second time we just went straight to the rope section.
Did you use the automated ones at all? The automated belays that no one has to belay you? You know how you climb to the top and then you let go and it just automatically lowers you down? Or were you doing the manual?
We were doing the manual one. I don't know if they had the automated one at the gym that we went to.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah. And did you start on the really easy walls with the big rocks with the hooks?
Yes. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even those were like fairly challenging initially, just because we, hadn't built up that strength.
It's a lot of upper body strength.
Yeah, forearms specifically.
And then when you started, how long did you do it for? Or how often were you going a week?
So we literally had just gone, I think, the week before. So just once previously. Okay. This was the second ever time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very, very, very new. Wasn't
very
a
fresh.
Routine thing.
Yeah.
It was my second ever time doing belaying and rope climbing.
And did you buy your own gear or were you hiring gear?
So we had just bought, for me, my partner had her own gear. She brought her own gear from Germany, so she had all of her stuff. But for me, I hadn't had anything. So the first time we went, we hired all the gear. But the second time, we just bought my own harness. Yeah, so this was my own harness that I bought. I didn't have the shoes or anything, so we were using the shoes that they had. But yeah, it was my own equipment for the first time.
Did you have your own carabiners as well, or just the harness?
It comes with the carabiners. Yeah.
Okay.
So we had my own carabiners. Yeah.
So you're totally invested. You're like, this is gonna be a hobby.
We're gonna do this. Yeah. Yes, it's gonna be a regular thing.
Yeah.
Considering memberships, looking into all these things. Yeah.
Yeah. On the day of the fall.
Yep.
What was the climb like leading up to the moment?
Yeah. So look, there wasn't a hell of a lot of leading up to, because this was the first wall that we were climbing that the fall happened on.
As soon as you got there, so the first, okay.
Yeah, so we just got there. I guess I got the shoes, and we set up. We got dressed, put on the equipment, which so my partner went first. She scaled the wall first, and then came down, and then we swapped out, and then I put on the equipment. Thought I'd put it on correctly.
Did you do because you put it on, and then did you do the once over safety checks, check the carabiners, everything?
So this is the thing. We did the safety checks. We did the safety checks with the carabiners and made sure they were, screwed in properly, and that was fine. And so my partner did all the checks from her side as well, checking my the thing we didn't check, which should have been doing, was that the carabiners were hooked into the right part of the harness.
Right.
Because it was a new harness and had multiple, which was unfamiliar for me, multiple, I guess, hooks that you could hook things into.
Yeah.
Which the hired ones didn't have. They just had that like one main, one where you hook the carabiner, and this harness had a couple of different loops.
Yeah.
And that's where I realized later, obviously, that
you had the wrong loop.
I had hooked it into the wrong loop.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think from what I've seen, the higher ones just have that big one hook at the front, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And yours had lots of small ones.
Yeah, it had. Look, I actually haven't seen the harness since the accident. My partner made a point of not disposing of it, but making sure that like we didn't bring it home.
Okay.
Afterwards, she asked a friend to like take it home with her.
Yeah.
But we did have to send pictures of the harness to the Queensland health and safety investigator after the accident to show him what we think had happened. And that's when we realized that yes, I had hooked the carabiner into the section of the harness which was meant for the chalk bag.
Which you were definitely not using at like level 1 level?
No. No. And
okay.
Which was definitely not intended to carry the full weight
your body weight. Yeah.
Of a human.
So did they then bring it down to it was your fault because you clipped the wrong, it wasn't like a manufacturer issue or anything?
Exactly. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the fault of the manufacturer. It couldn't have been the fault of Urban Climb because it was obviously my equipment.
Yeah.
It was literally a user error, which was me clipping it in the wrong section.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started climbing the wall. Did you get to the top?
I did. I got to the top. Felt that sense of achievement, hanging on the top. Looked down to my partner, said to her, all good. I'm ready to come down. So there's the process of the belayer, just making sure that everything's fine on their side, which she did.
Mm-hmm.
Gave me the all clear that I was good to let go. And it was at that point that I let go, heard the tear or rip of that loop of the harness tearing off. And I guess fortunately, I'm not quite sure if it was that fortunately, but fortunately managed to grab onto the, I guess, part of the rope which was left over on and hooked onto the other side of the pulley. So there was like a little piece of rope that I'd managed to hang on to and was sort of dangling on the wall then for.
So you let go of the wall.
Yes.
Then it teared. Then you quickly grabbed the rope.
Yeah.
Were your feet still on the wall at that time as well?
No.
Hanging
I was hanging.
Arms?
Yeah, I was hanging.
Okay.
And I was trying to get my feet into a kind of grip. But it was, there weren't too many options.
Yeah. I guess at the end of a climb as well, your arms are usually pretty cooked at that stage.
Yeah, so cooked.
Yeah,
I can pretty clearly remember, my forearms being pretty done by the time I got to the top of the wall. And then hanging on was I knew I didn't have a lot of time.
Yeah. What was going through your head at those moments? Can you remember?
Not a lot apart from just the realization and the shock of the fact that I was going to fall.
Yeah.
It was shit, I'm pretty screwed here.
Yeah, you were pretty convinced that I am going to fall. I just don't know when.
Yeah, it was just a matter of time.
Yeah.
And it was it was shock, I think. Not a hell of a lot of huge distress. I remember my partner being like, why didn't you yell out and scream? And I think I probably in those moments were thinking I don't have a lot of energy left, and I need to try and conserve my energy. So any kind of huge movements were probably going to make me fall a lot sooner.
Yeah.
So I just kind of looked down on her and I said, like, the rope's ripped. It's ripped. I'm hanging on. Like, this is, yeah, the rope is ripped off. And she was like, what are you talking about? And I remember her kind of looking down at her part of it and saying, like, no, like, I'm okay. She didn't understand what had happened. And so I think for her it was just like confusion.
So she couldn't see. I thought she would have like seen it all, happen and unfold, and then.
Yeah, look, obviously it's difficult for me to. Well, when I think about it now, I sort of put myself in her shoes in terms of what she would have seen. I guess she would have seen. Yeah, she would have seen the rope come off the harness.
But she wouldn't have felt slack because you were still hanging to a part, right?
Yeah, she would have. Yes.
So the rope would have felt semi-normal, like she's still holding body weight.
Yes. And I think that's probably what created the confusion.
Okay.
From her part was that, there was still some tension.
Yeah. And then when she realized what was happening,
she looked around. I remember seeing her look around and then calling for help. And that's when we got the attention of, the staff, who then started like racing up and gearing up, clipping into the sort of hook rope in the adjacent climbing spot.
Yeah.
And then like climbing up towards me.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they called out to other staff members who then started to try and pull the mat from across the room to where I was.
To underneath you.
Yeah.
The guy was it a guy that climbed up next to you? Did he make it all the way to the top?
He got about halfway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what his purpose was to climb? Like, was he going to try and grab you? Or?
I don't know exactly what his plan was. I am not sure if he was going to be able to potentially hook into my harness, maybe. Look, he looked like a very experienced climber, and I'm sure they would have had protocols around things like this. So but he just, unfortunately, I didn't have the strength to hold myself long enough.
He probably had chalk on his hands with his little chalk bag.
Yeah. He very definitely would have had the chalk in the right spot.
Yeah. Okay, so you see, the mat is coming over, the guy's coming up next to you. Do you remember seeing those things happen, or did people tell you afterwards that was happening? Were you just concentrating on gripping the rope?
I do remember seeing those things happen. I remember seeing the guy scaling up the wall, looking at me looking at him with a sense of like desperation and panic, I guess. Yeah. And then my partner, I think, sort of looking up at me and saying like, they're coming to get you. And me just saying like, my hands are slipping. Like I can't hold on for any longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they were coming, you still had in your head, like, I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
I
knew quite quickly. And in some ways that like probably made it, I don't want to say it made it less scary or less, but I think I'd resigned to the fact that I was falling straight away, if that makes sense. Like I wasn't like holding on to hope that they were going to get there. Like I knew I only had a matter of probably like half a minute.
And then tell me about the fall.
Yeah. Bit of a whirlwind. Don't remember a hell of a lot from the actual fall. It feels very like a sort of flash memory. Just remember the hands slipping, like letting go. And then, just a bit of a sort of flash of vision. And then it wasn't even pain straight away. It was like windedness and no breath, like an impact.
So you semi remember hitting the floor?
Semi.
Okay.
Yeah. Just felt like a huge jolt and impact to my whole body.
What sort of floor was it if the mat didn't get there in time?
So it was like a hard rubber.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after you felt the impact, did you then get a wash over of pain straight away, or was it just adrenaline? Or
Yeah, no, it was just not being able to breathe. Remember, that was the first, like, because I was completely winded. It was like desperation to breathe.
to get air?
Yeah, and I think I probably made a really distressing, like, sound of groan. I think it was a really long groan of like no breath. Yeah.
Do you know what position you landed in? Was it like your stomach or your?
Yeah, it was really awkward position. So my understanding is I landed. So they actually managed to bring the mat quite close to me. So it somewhat broke my fall. My feet kind of hit the mat, and then my body went sideways down, and I landed on my right hip.
Okay.
But sort of frontward facing side, if that makes sense. But front of the hip and then down onto my stomach, and my right arm was trapped underneath my body. So
Yeah. And then you eventually got a breath of air.
Eventually, it felt like forever.
Yeah.
It felt like forever, honestly. That was the most distressing thing. I think when I finally got the air, I mean, then the pain started. Yeah. And then it was just like, oh my goodness, this is like nothing I've ever felt.
Do you think gasping, like not being able to breathe and gasping for air, was scarier than the fall? I guess the fall happened so fast.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Can you remember what was going through your mind when you couldn't breathe?
I think quite quickly, my first conscious thought was probably, probably two things. One is like, I've seriously fucked up something. I've seriously damaged something. But the second thing was, but I can feel my legs. And so I'm quietly optimistic that it's not my spine.
Okay. So a little bit of a relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was, quite quickly, all right, it's bloody sore, but I can feel my legs and I can feel my feet, and I think I can move them.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, hopefully not spine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the pain washed in.
Oh, yeah.
Never felt pain like that before. Was it everywhere in your body? Could you locate a certain point, or position where it was?
Yeah. So weirdly enough, I mean, it was everywhere, but weirdly enough, I remember complaining the most about the fact that my arm was trapped. And I kind of thought like, the pain is because my arm's trapped. I'm so sore because my arm is like trapped under my body. So yeah, it was weird. It wasn't like straight away, I've injured my hip or my pelvis. It was like just really in a weird, awkward position. And as soon as I straighten out, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a probably irrational thought that I was having.
I guess you would also feel somewhat helpless if your arm was stuck.
Yeah.
Like you're doing the checks, you're trying to move everything and like can't get your arm out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
And then did people run over that you were aware of?
Yes, I remember a bit of a gathering of people. I remember people asking me, like just checking that I was conscious. So like, what's your name, John? And then like just probably checking breathing and like probably doing the basic first aid things.
Yeah.
Definitely remember a bit of a crowd. It was the guy who was coming up to try and get to me was there, and then some other staff members. And I remember someone else calling an ambulance behind the sort of group, and my partner being there the whole time and just like saying, I'm here. Yeah.
Did it seem like forever until the ambulance got there?
Yeah, no, it did. And I think, I just remember keeping on saying like, my arm's trapped. Yeah.
So they didn't move you at all?
No, they just said, sorry, mate, we can't move you. You've got to stay. We can't move you. We've got to first assess,
You still had a rational part with all the pain?
Yeah, weirdly enough. yeah, I think it was because the first rational thing was like, I can feel my toes, I can feel my legs. I remember saying that. I think I remember saying that too.
And then the Ambers got there.
Yes. Yeah, so there were 2 ambulances that arrived. The one that came quickly wasn't able to move me yet, which was also frustrating.
Annoying.
But they were able to give me the green whistle.
I was going to ask you if they gave you the green whistle.
Yeah, they gave me the green whistle. Yeah, it didn't do anything.
Really?
Yeah, no, I remember feeling like this isn't... It probably did do a little bit, but it didn't feel like it did anything. But I remember them saying we're waiting for the ambulance with the stretcher and the other stuff to arrive, which then also felt like it took forever.
The wait continues again.
Yeah. Probably realistically only took about 5 minutes, but it felt like
an hour.
Hours. Yeah.
And then when they got there, did they just transfer you to the stretcher? So
when the second guy got there, and I am to this day so grateful to that guy, because I think that paramedic had the wit to figure out that it probably was my pelvis. And I remember him kind of doing a little bit of palpating around the body and asking me if I could feel this, if I could feel that, and was that super sore. And I think once he kind of got to that region, then he started to realize, okay, shit, this probably is a fracture around the pelvis area. And he had the wit to bind my pelvis. So he had a pelvic belt, which he then applied to bind and hold my pelvis. And only after they did that did they transfer me. Yeah, I remember all the transfers were so sore. Yeah. I used to dread each time they said they were moving me. I was like, do you really? Do you really have to?
I should have given you 2 green whistles.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Usually people get high off one, so...
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know either. Yeah, no, it didn't feel like it helped. Yeah, so then we got into the ambulance, and then they gave me morphine.
Okay.
Yeah, and that helped. So that was the first time I felt a bit of relief from the pain was once. I remember getting carried on the stretcher into the ED. I remember one doctor, the emergency doctor, kind of giving me quite clear instructions about what they were doing. They basically told me at that point that I had quite a serious multiple fractures of my pelvis, and that it was going to need surgery.
Were you nervous for surgery?
Yeah. So I've got 1 plate and I think it's 3 or 4 screws. Just remember going into the surgery being like pretty scared because I'd never done it before. But the anaesthetist being quite like empathetic and kind, and being like, it's a serious injury, but you're in good hands, type of thing. Yeah.
Did they get you to count down from 10?
Yes.
What number did you make?
I think I probably made it to like 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was out. Yeah.
And then do you remember how you felt when you woke up from surgery?
Relief, I think, was the first thing.
Okay.
I've woken up.
Yeah, I'm alive.
This is good.
Okay, and then how was your recovery from there?
Yeah, so the first few days, it was all just about managing the basics.
Did you feel okay having like strangers in your personal space?
Yeah, look, the nursing team were brilliant, hey? Like, I have so much respect for nurses after this experience. Like, they were so good. I remember the physios started coming to see me probably about 2 days, maybe even 4 days after the surgery, and trying to get me up with a Steady. Yeah.
Which you would know all about as an OT.
Yeah. And like me just being, oh my gosh, are you sure this does not feel right? This does not feel healthy.
I guess working as an occupational therapist, you're prescribing wheelchairs to clients all the time. How did you feel being in a wheelchair yourself?
Very, very humbling.
Yeah.
Very humbling experience. But at the same time, I think weirdly helped me to make sense and meaning of what was going on. Like I remember, so I did a little bit of like a blog thing, posted about being in a wheelchair and what it felt like to be on the other side of, the work that I do. And I remember feeling us a bit of a sense of like, this is going to be a hard growth point, but a good growth point for me in my job and my career and my purpose as well.
Yeah. So mentally, were you feeling pretty okay? Did you have any lows?
Yeah, I think, funny enough, I think the lows probably came like a little bit later, a couple of weeks into being in the hospital, and I was kind of getting that cabin fever and like, I'm still here. Oh my gosh. And realizing how much of my life I couldn't participate in.
Yeah, so feeling quite isolated and alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And long periods of time spent just in bed, and there's only so many series you can watch. And
Were you progressing physically then?
I think I was, but they still said no weight bearing. So yes, I was getting more confident with things like wheelchair transfers, basic ability to transfer on and off the toilet, manage my self-cares and things, do my exercises.
And for people that have never been in a wheelchair, what's one thing you would say that you would like them to know so that they can better understand how people feel who are in wheelchairs?
Oh, I think just that the world, even though it probably come a hell of a long way, the world isn't designed for people in wheelchairs. Like accessibility, even in a hospital, right? Which has got all the ramps and all the wide corridors and all the, door frames. Like life is so much harder. Every small task that we take for granted, I think, takes an additional like 4 to 5 extra steps for someone in a wheelchair to do,
Yeah.
And I think that's what I realized very quickly.
Did you feel like later down in the track when you came into the community, when you went out in the wheelchair, like for the Christmas party?
Yeah.
Did people treat you any differently, or did you feel weird that you're sitting down and people are up here talking to you? Or?
Yeah, that was a bit weird. I remember thinking quite often, like at the Christmas party, for example, like, would I, if I were sort of seeing a colleague in a wheelchair, would I be the type of person to go down and on my, like crouch down and be on their level? Or would I be someone who like wouldn't want to make a fuss of it and just like keep chatting to you even though I'm looking down at you? And like not being sure about that.
Yeah.
It was an interesting experience, but yeah, it did feel weird. It does feel like, especially from a social perspective, like it's more challenging to participate.
Yeah. And for people who know people in a wheelchair, do you think personally for yourself, I guess everyone's different, would you have liked people to talk, like crouch down and talk on the same level as you or sit next to you, or that didn't really faze you whether they were standing up or sitting down?
Yeah, funny enough, I don't think that was the most important thing for me. I think it was more about how, like, the attitude and the kind of, like how they came across. It was like, are they treating me with a kind of shame, sympathy, that must be so terrible, but not like genuinely like expressing that? Or are they more like
just saying it to say it?
Yeah, or they're just like treating me like a human being. And I think that would probably be my advice for people who know other people in a wheelchair. Like, it's not really about, yes, okay, it does matter, whether you giving them good eye contact and things like that, but they just want to feel like you are seeing them as an equal human being.
Everyone wants that human connection.
Oh, still. Completely.
Yeah. Okay. So back to hospital, you're still in the wheelchair, no weight bearing, you're a couple of weeks into recovery.
Yep.
When did you get the clearance for weight bearing?
Oh, that only came months later. Yeah.
That's right, because you were out in the community in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
How long till you were discharged from hospital? Were they looking for a certain like milestone in your recovery to discharge you?
Yes, actually no, it wasn't. It was partly related to the pain medication. So the pain relief. I remember them sort of saying, look, once you transitioned onto less sort of significant pain medication, we can look at a transition to a step down facility. I think the most frustrating thing I remember is it felt like initially there was hope that I would be weight bearing quite soon. And then there was kind of like a backtrack, and the doctor saying, listen, you're going to probably be non-weight bearing for at least 3 months.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay.
This is a long time to be in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess it's life for some people.
Hey,
so.
yeah, no, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Not a lot at all.
Did your mental health decline the longer you were in the hospital?
Definitely. Yeah, I remember the last kind of 2 weeks in the at Princess Alexandra Hospital. Yeah, I was getting really irritable and frustrated. Yeah. I probably wasn't a great patient, to be honest.
They always say that people who work in the medical industry are not good patients.
Oh man, I was quite I was pretty like confrontational towards the doctors. I think I got really frustrated because I kept getting given sort of hope that I would be transferred. But I remember being pretty direct with them about making things happen so I could get transferred.
Yeah. How did that day feel when you finally got discharged?
Oh my gosh, so good. Yeah.
What was the first thing you did? Can you remember?
We just went home. Hey. Yeah, it was just like going out onto the balcony and like just being outside and like breathing fresh air, hearing the birds, and like looking down at the pool and just like feeling I'm home. Yeah.
Did it make you appreciate nature a bit more?
Oh, completely. Being inside a hospital for 3 months or 2.5 months is not. It's not fun.
I definitely think it's can be tied to mental health as well. Not being in nature and having that connection.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think for a lot of it was also about autonomy, lack of independence, not only in like the ability to do things from a physical perspective, but like the ability to make choices on when you have a cup of tea, when you have your lunch.
What was your house like now that you're in a wheelchair and everything seems so inaccessible?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I remember even like as an OT thinking about it and planning my own discharge, I was like, oh no, my house is it'll be fine. There's just the main steps that we're going to get up to get inside. Once we've got that covered, we'll be okay. And then you get there and you realize, oh my gosh, there's like so many little sort of minor like lips to go onto different surfaces, and like getting out onto the veranda or getting into the bathroom, and then getting from the sort of the bathroom into the shower. Really, again, made me realize like our environments are not designed,
even if they seem so.
Yeah.
I guess you don't notice those little things until it's an issue for you.
Exactly.
And then you notice all of them.
Yeah.
Do you think that makes you a better occupational therapist when you're doing home assessments? Yeah.
I'm really good at ramps now.
Yeah.
Love I can help people sort out ramps, no worries.
Yeah. And then how did you go settling into home? Did you get back to work online? Do you still have pain? Yeah,
so I was home for about probably close to a month before I started work again online. And a lot of it was about pain, fatigue. It was a lot of fatigue. I was tired. I was still sleeping quite a lot during the day. And I was doing a lot of intensive physiotherapy. I would see a physio like once every 2 days almost. And really focusing on my rehab at that stage. And that was just my priority. I was like, I'm focusing on this. I'll work, when I get to that point.
Do you think getting back into work helped mentally? Because you had something to work on?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, because even at home, like, it got to the point where I was needing more routine and more structure. Yeah.
I guess if you don't have anything to do, you've watched Netflix so much, you're just lying there, you have no purpose, you can get pretty down.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then when did you get that weight bearing clearance?
I was after Christmas, so that was probably 2.5 months later
After the accident?
after the accident. Yeah.
Okay. How did those first few steps feel?
So good. Scary.
Yeah.
Super scary. So I remember, I was leaning a hell of a lot on the physio, and he was like, "Mate, you're okay. Like, you can." And he was trying to like push me off a little bit, and I
Yeah.
was like holding on for dear life.
Yeah. Do you feel like you sort of forgot how to walk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah. Legs felt a bit like lead, like
Yeah.
just like yeah.
Balance was off. How was the pain when you stood up?
Not too bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be worse than it was. I think it was more just a feeling of like probably psychological as well. Like it felt very fragile. Yeah, and that I had to be super, super careful.
How long were you with the crutches for?
Crutches were for around about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel ditching the wheelchair?
Oh, good. Although weirdly enough, and I think this might be something that people can relate to, like you almost build a bit of. I remember it being. I needed encouragement to not use it as much.
Because you become reliant.
I became
on
reliant on it. I became like quite attached to it. Actually, like it was a safety thing.
Yeah.
This was my safe form of getting around. That was keeping me safe, and like giving that up was actually weirdly challenging. Yeah.
Yeah, I would never think that. Thought you'd want to, burn it, get rid of it.
Yeah, no. Like I'm still pretty fond when I sometimes trial that particular model with some of my participants. This is a good chair. Man. This is really
tried and
even though it's like super basic and not great for like more complex clients. But
bit biased there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. And then did you get back into going for walks or running?
Yeah, walks. So walks initially. Just remember we had a lovely little park close to where we lived, and just remember going there quite often with my partner and just with the crutches initially.
Yeah.
Just loving being in nature. So good. Yeah, and that sort of progressed you sort of along the golf course, which was close to where we lived, and that was also like amazing. And just like appreciating, each little additional 200 meters, 500 meters that I was able to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a slightly different outlook on life now?
Yes, I do. Although my partner would say that she wishes I would have learned to be more mindful following my accident. And she doesn't feel like I've learned that yet.
Yeah. And work on your memory.
We'll work on that. Yeah.
So you got back into running how long after the accident?
Yeah, so I went for my first run, I think about 6-7 months after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it feel good to finally move at a pace?
It did. It felt very weird initially, and there was pain, and there was just like a sort of stiffness and almost like mechanical feeling to the joint for quite a long time. So yeah, it took, and it was a confidence thing as well. So it took a while to build up that, but just kept at it, and then around July, August, that I managed to sort of do a 5K run for the first time since, which I was like, that was my goal.
Got there.
I got there.
Yeah. Remember you doing all your physio exercises and
Yep, I was doing my physio exercises.
runs.
Yeah. Taking tips from you as well.
Yeah. You pretty much just needed encouragement.
I
knew
did.
what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you thought about going back to rock climbing?
I have considered bouldering, just because that was always like something that I preferred doing. I think the most, I guess, thing that would be pushing me against it was just like, can my body withstand the impact for bouldering? Because it's like falling on, even though it's a mat.
Yeah, on the crash
it's just
mat.
like falling, maybe sometimes in weird positions. But I have considered that. Rope climbing, nah, not really.
Yeah.
No. My partner's unfortunately probably had more of a kind of trauma response to this whole thing than I have. Like I don't feel super. She gets pretty scared of even like flying now, where she was never scared of flying before.
It's like a heights thing.
Yeah,
You don't feel like heights.
I don't feel that. Yeah. I mean, look, I say that now, right? But like, say, if I went to a climbing gym, maybe I'd feel very differently. I haven't been back to a climbing gym since.
Yeah.
But I've watched we watched Free Solo the other day.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and
it's so good, but that guy is crazy.
He is crazy.
Yeah.
I thought I'd have much more of a stronger reaction to the movie than I did. I actually didn't. I enjoyed it.
You weren't triggered or anything?
No. There was one moment in the movie that I did feel like, whoa, this is like quite close to home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his partner, I don't know how.
I don't know.
Watching him.
No.
I guess it's your support network as well. Like you go through the trauma and like the physical pain and the mental.
Absolutely.
But then they always have their side of the story of how it's affected them.
Yeah.
And helping with the recovery.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, we have 2 recurring questions that I ask every guest.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start you off with the first question.
Cool.
If you could go back and give yourself one sentence of advice at your lowest point, what would it be?
So I'm going to choose the lowest point related to this, I guess, experience, which actually wasn't the fall or the accident, but it was probably like the period of time in hospital where I was really feeling that frustration and, that real low. I'd probably say to myself, I think I'd probably just be kinder to myself and say things that will get better and just be more patient. Yeah, just be allow things to take their course, and they will get there.
Positive affirmation in time.
Yeah.
And looking back on your journey now, is there anything you can smile or laugh about?
Yeah, I think I could probably even laugh about the accident. And like I was telling you today, like just how I have a tendency to be really absent-minded with things, and it has frustrated people around me.
Yeah.
But it's also caused quite a lot of self inconveniences where just like absent-mindedness has led to needing to redo things or needing to clean things up, needing to repair things that are broken. But like now it's my pelvis, and that's like something that I should definitely also learn from.
Yeah.
But I think I can laugh a little bit about it also, just because I don't think there's any point in being super like regretful or angry about it. It's not going to change anything. Not going to make me, not going to take it back.
Yeah, happened at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Life happens to us.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much for the chat.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for inviting me.
John, thank you for sharing such a raw and powerful story with us today. Your journey from a devastating fall to standing tall again is an incredible reminder of the strength we can all find when life knocks us down. For everyone listening, I hope this conversation inspires you to keep pushing through whatever challenges you might be facing and to appreciate the power of the human body. I know myself, I never take walking for granted. This has been Tumble Upward. Until next time, see you later. Hi everyone, I just wanted to say if you or anyone you know has a story to share, please reach out so that I can keep bringing you stories from our community. Let's get as many voices heard as possible. And if you enjoyed this episode, please remember to like, subscribe, review, and follow. Thanks everyone.